Influencer marketing, the latest shit. You know, it's beneficial for both the brand and the influencer. It's just natural. That's awesome, right? At least that's what they say. In this video, I'll tell you a story about an influencer deal that I recently had that kind of inspired me to do this video. I'll also tell you what to look out for when going in for some influencer deals and, you know, brand partnerships and stuff like that. And I'll also tell you how you can actually benefit from this whole mess out there, from this whole influencer and micro-influencer world. Right. Hello my friends and welcome back. My name is Dominic if you're new here. Kind of took a break for the last 2 weeks or so, mainly because I was sick. Anyway, today I want to talk about a topic that's been actually kind of bogging me since the whole Christmas madness began. And you know, if you're a consumer, you probably know what I'm talking about. You know, all these people out there running crazy. But, you know, little do lots of people know that actually in the corporate world, in the marketing world, and, you know, in the influencer marketing world, stuff like that, it's probably even worse than that. You know, just people running crazy, wanting to get their products out there. And, you know, this kind of inspired me to do this video because I've had some sort of situation, not a real one, but, you know, I've noticed some things, and actually a story that I want to tell you. As Christmas came closer, of course came all these brand partnership inquiries flooding in through the inbox, you know, because, you know, Christmas, that's when the real cash is being made. And in particular, there was this one brand that I can't name for legal reasons right now. I don't want to go to court, not again. Anyway, you'll figure it out probably if you do some digging, but you haven't heard it from me. Anyway, so they reached out to me and I kind of knew them, you know, I knew their brand, I've heard of it. I actually thought it was an established brand, and, you know, I mainly only take partnerships that, you know, I know that my followers actually can benefit from, and that I can benefit from as well, of course, and that I actually think are cool. And it happened that I actually knew this kind of brand, and I thought it was kind of cool. So I was like, yeah, let's do it, you know, it's Christmas, just let's do it. And of course, they wanted me to send the product for free. You know, usually I have a fee of, you know, things. You know, I don't have that big of an account, but still, you know, it's work. It's other work that I could, you know, otherwise spend here in the agency where I would generate lots of more money. But I was like, yeah, that's cool. I kind of like that. So you just send it to me for free. I'm gonna take a post, you know, natural post, whatever, and that's it. So it was all great. They sent me the package, and as soon as I got it, the first kind of red flag happened, or at least I thought it was kind of a mild red flag. Not only did I have to send them the post in advance, you know, which is not a bad thing per se, I also had to send them the stories in advance, which had to consist of at least two consecutive stories, right? And they specifically stated, you know, no guns, no booze, and all of these things, you know, not in our, you know, our sponsored post, right? So of course I kind of understand that from a branding, you know, standpoint, from the standpoint of the brand. But if you actually dig a little bit further, what is influencer marketing actually, right? You know, it's about some, you know, influencer, a word actually, which I hate, by the way. But, you know, about some person that has some sort of a following, and they're probably attached to their, you know, way that they behave, to their style, to their, you know, way that express themselves, right? And naturally it should align. And in my case, you know, you don't have to do that big of a digging that, you know, you kind of see that I'm kind of a rebel, you know. I kind of like to go left when other people like to go right. And, you know, I actually kind of like to be a little bit provocative at some point, especially for all those rule abiders out there, you know. And I'm sure you don't need to have a degree in psychoanalytics to actually get that. Probably you can see that right when you see, you know, at least one of my stories, or, you know, just my bio, you know, and that's what it should be about, right? You know, influencer marketing, it's a brand, there's an influencer, their values, their core values should ideally align. My phone's falling down, you know, and this is what it should be about, and not just some mere, you know, advertising shell. But we're gonna get to that in a minute, so I'm kind of gonna carry it away here, right? So I sent them that, got my post back, and the whole charm actually was lost, you know, the whole, you know, my voice was kind of not there anymore. It just became this advertisement, you know, of just a dull advertisement that no one wants to see. And, you know, being 2019, people kind of get the idea, you know, slowly that, you know, these advertisements are kind of boring, they're kind of dull. That's not what it should be about, this whole thing, you know. It started so great, and now all these advertising agencies, all these brands kind of destroy it from, you know, people that are gullible to those things, me included sometimes. You know, that's just the way it is. Anyway, long story short, I posted it, of course, they wanted to have another post, which I'm not gonna do, to be completely honest, just because, you know, this whole thing broke down a couple of days later. You know, I can't do this anymore. I know it's actually kind of expensive, you know, to some people, and it broke down a week later. Why? You know, I don't want to advertise that. And of course, I don't want to advertise it as an advertisement, because guess why people go from TV towards Netflix and stuff like that? You know, because they're fed up by the advertisements, by the TV breaks. You know, they care about the content, right? And not about, you know, the advertisings. And, you know, the content kind of gets lost when actually all these companies from the outside try to dictate the content creator what they should do, like in an exact manner. And this is what actually destroys the whole game, the whole, you know, influencer world, to be completely honest. Because, you know, after all, it's about the content, you know, like I always say, and the content gets lost by them trying to get their values in there. What should happen, though, is, you know, brands taking a look at the influencer and seeing, okay, they have some sort of values, we have some sort of values, we kind of, you know, align. So let them do their thing. It's gonna be beneficial for us because, you know, we did some research beforehand. And I've had some corporations with, you know, brands like those. You know, they were like, you know, here's the product, here's some money. You know, we allowing, do your thing. We're sure it's gonna go well. And this is when things are going to go well, you know? It's just a natural thing, not just some average. So what can you do against those things? First of all, establish your own boundaries first, right? Take a step back, you know, take a pen and paper and write down what your own boundaries are. What are your brand values, you know, your personal values in that sense, if you're a personal brand, of course. You know, what do you stand for? What do you stand against for, right? And then, you know, you have to stay true to those values. You know, I didn't do that with those people, and sometimes they kind of try to sneak their way into you. They send the product to you, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, this is what's gonna happen, this is what's gonna happen, otherwise, you know, contract breach or stuff like that. But, you know, so establish your boundaries, and, you know, write them down in your brand kit, media kit. You should have one if you want to become an influencer. I think I have a video about that somewhere. I at least have some videos about that in the unemployed course, which is closed, by the way. If you have a correspondence with the brands, you know, tell them your values. If not, you know, or like craft some sort of contract even where you like, these are my values, they have to stick, you know? I'm not gonna do something that's out of the line of those, you know, core elements of my brand, right? You know, flip the script in a way. The other thing is, you know, and people forget that a lot, because lots of people want to become influencers, especially younger people. They forget that it's probably just a face, and you know, if they don't establish their brands, you know, Instagram's gonna be gone at some point. And then once Instagram's gonna be gone, they have nothing left. If they have just some sort of Instagram account, pictures of themselves just advertising things all over the place, it's not good. If you have 500,000 followers and, you know, just some sort of shell person, just some ad space and stuff like that, you know, it's not as valuable, you know, for yourself. For example, if you have 50,000 followers, but people that are really attached to you as a person, to, you know, whatever you do, and they're gonna follow you no matter what, because you have some sort of relationship with them. And every time you do some sort of advertisement, I don't even know how to pronounce that, you know, things are gonna be taken away, at least in some sort of sense. What can you do against that? Actually, I want you guys to succeed in this whole world, in this whole influencer world, you know, whatever personal branding world. And right now, I'm putting together some sort of 8-week mentorship program with you and me and, you know, all the people that are in there. You know, we're gonna work as closely together as ever. We're gonna talk about everything from building up, you know, your own brand, from establishing yourself, you know, growing your Instagram profiles, YouTube, whatever you want to know, you know, businesses and into your, you know, products that you can sell. So just a way to break out of the shell, you know, become an influencer for yourself actually, and of course, if you want to become a, you know, traditional influencer, we're gonna cover that as well. But it's just loosely based. We're just, you know, trying to, you know, sort things out. So if you're interested in that, you know, go down to the link below. You'll fill in your email address on the waiting list, whatever. And whenever we have something, you know, to tell you about, I'm gonna send you an email personally. Anyway, this has been my video for this day. I'm gonna do a couple of more videos about that topic because it's actually very near and dear to my heart, and because I think the way that these things are progressing, it's not a good thing, and we have to stop that. We have to actually, you know, do our own thing. We don't have to, you know, do your own thing in that sort of sense and know what you have to do. And to hit the subscribe button, by the way, because it's over. And I'll see you in a couple of days. My name is Dominic, by the way. I probably never said that. Bye.